The moment you get to know anything, and if you are interested in that particular subject, go research and then understand what it means. Otherwise, all the information, all the news these days are already colored. I can't take everything seriously, and there is a huge difference between information and knowledge. Nothing can answer this in the sense, because it is so unpredictable. What can create havoc in people's mind, you don't know. And most of the time, the way I understand is that social media, anybody, they are faceless entities. So beyond a point, it is not required for me to react on everything.
Two things has worked most powerfully for this series. One is the writing, which was so real, and the second is the way he's also played his character and everybody else. Like the way he plays the character it's believable. He doesn't go into the, it's not a spectacle. It is a code at a human emotion level, and he's a boy next door who's doing extraordinary things.
And a big shout out for our DOP, Dmitriy Nedria. He was from Ukraine, and in his country there was a war. In that situation, he was here, he was shooting with us. And the way he's shot the whole series, I mean, I personally loved the way he's lit up. Very, very important and a unique way of telling the story of spies. Because mostly we have heard and seen spy stories with a lot of spices. What we have done is that we have just taken those extra spices and created this a real life story, a very realistic way of a spy's character.
Hi, this is Samina Sheikh here on Zoom channel, and with me right now I have Pratik Gandhi and Sejal Shah, who's all set to speak about their OTT series. So join me as I welcome both of them only on Zoom channel. Lovely to have both of you firstly.
Thank you.
And first of all, congratulations that Saare Jahan Se Accha, a name like that for an OTT series, have been working wonders, not only on OTT platforms but also on social media. People are speaking about it. Pratik, for you, I feel like there is some kind of connection you have with the history of India that you kind of resonate with it, the kind of roles which are offered to you. Tell me about your experience of working on this one.
I'm very happy to recreate all those incidences that happened in history. But this particular show, Saare Jahan Se Accha, it is set in 1970s. Though there are a lot of instances which were real instances which happened in 1970s, which was a deciding decade for our country and the world around. There are a lot of things happening. But the story and the characters in this series, which are around those instances, are not real. These are all fictional. So there's a good balance of, we've just taken the base of those real incidences, and the rest everything is fictional. I'm very happy to be a part of this series. Very, very important and a unique way of telling the story of spies. Because mostly we have heard and seen spy stories with a lot of spices. What we have done is that we have just taken those extra spices and created this a real life story, a very realistic way of a spy's character, their conflicts, their moral dilemma, their pressure, and their real identity is not even known to their own selves. That's how they live. It is very difficult. So though it's spy thriller drama, but the core is human drama in this, and that is very, very exciting for me to be part of it.
To you, Sejal, especially in the era we are right now, where we tend to forget things easily, or probably because we're consuming so much on social media, we're consuming so much on OTT, then there is theatre also. We tend to forget stories also, or kind of not register that in our brains when we're watching. How do you ensure that the audience engage to a storyline like this?
I think it's not only storyline like this. I think it's any story. Even when you and me are talking, I think the idea is to engage even a conversation or a story, be it a 2-minute or a 10-hour film or a 2-hour film, is, I think, if it resonates in a human emotion level. I think that is what you've seen any film. Even if you've seen a horror film, you've seen an alien film, you've seen a space film, I think at the core of it, it's a love story. It's either between the parents or with your country or with something else. I think the human emotion, if that is what resonates, after that the audiences will go anywhere with you. So I think in this also, this is what I mean, there are several stories and films which have been told on spies, which have been on patriotism. I think this has resonated most with people is because they have really connected with the character. They've connected with Vishnu, they've connected with the other characters, and that is what has worked. So I feel that once you get that, then you want to go in that journey with that character wherever he takes you. Even if it suddenly becomes an alien film, you are okay, you start believing that. So I think that is the core of every story.
And I'm sure it's a very, I'm sure that, it's a very cliche question which I'm going to ask you also, but choosing an actor like Pratik Gandhi for this role, what made you feel that he fits for the role completely?
I think when we started writing this, Bhavesh, who is also the showrunner, writer, and my partner in this company, he was the one, I'm talking about 3 years back, when he was thinking even at the idea core level, is the first person he said he wanted to go was with Pratik. And it was and Pratik had just finished Scam, and I remember the whole world was chasing him. And when we called him, also we had to wait almost 2.5, 3 years for him to give more than 2 years to get his dates. So, but we always knew that we wanted Pratik because it was just, we wanted somebody who was believable.
Yeah.
So the idea is that what has worked, two things has worked most powerfully for this series. One is the writing, which was so real, and the second is the way he's also played his character and everybody else. Like the way he plays the character it's believable. He doesn't go into the, it's not a spectacle. It is a code at a human emotion level, and is a boy next door who's doing extraordinary things.
Yeah.
So Pratik was always our first choice, and we were just very lucky he said yes, and then we kept working towards it, and then of course when the story formed, that's how it happened.
Coming to you, Pratik, also, somewhere I do feel, and I have told you this also for some of your other movies also, but you are doing a character transplant. When I look at Scam versus if I go to a series like this, it's more like, Desh ke liye, Watan ke liye, and a character like this, where you are a spy, you are someone who is working for the benefit of the nation, and at a certain stage where it's like 1971, Indo-Pak war, which is happening, a situation which we don't really know, but we have heard a lot about it over the years.
Right.
For you to get into that character and doing this character transplant of, being such a flamboyant, how you started off, versus this, how it has been for you?
Very satisfying, yeah? And two different spectrum that way. That's the challenge that I guess an actor looks for always. And I loved these kind of different genres and different characters that I had never done before. That was also one of the key reasons why I wanted to do this. And it was a very well written story and character arc. So a win-win situation for me to be a part of this. The process that way is very simple. Make it more human, make it realistic. So when I want to do this, what I have to do is I can't fake a single moment. I have to feel everything that the character should feel at that time, and that's how I want to translate it. Largely you get successful when you do that organically, and that's what I try.
But also, this character itself is not like the conventional spy universe kind of a character, or say typical glamorous spy. He is basically having these conflict, whereas it's about, moral versus how he deals with the environment around him.
Right.
How it was for you, because, you are having conflicting, occasions while dealing and navigating with situations presented to you.
So it is very interesting to know how they are, constantly living the life under pressure.
Yeah.
The pressure is, if you see spies' actual life, is they live a morally conflicted life. They, beyond a point, what is right and wrong for a common person doesn't stand true for them, because they are living for a bigger goal.
Yeah.
So you have to transform your thought process from here to there. Another thing is that there is zero scope for an error. Their one mistake
Yes.
can just wipe off one whole country from the map, and their successes are never going to be celebrated. So they can't even celebrate their success with their families, because they can't talk about it. They have so many informations and big information, but they can't talk about it, not even a lick of it. Now all these characteristics make the character even more layered and very, very challenging for an actor. So I just did that, read about it, discussed with my director what is the tone going to be, and just created those layers on layers, and I enjoy those complex emotions anyways.
Yeah, of course, and we have seen that in your work. But to both of you, I have to ask that it doesn't only deal with physical tensions which are building up, but also the intellectual war, which is very difficult to kind of win because it's the game of the mind. And you have to be also very careful with the detailing, because when you are presenting a story like that, there are high chances of a selective bunch of audience, in fact, rather not lot of audience, to kind of calculate on how it has been portrayed to them. How careful were you while presenting it, and to you as an actor while doing that?
I guess I can just say that on behalf of the whole team, the makers and the director, they took great care to create the whole set, which can make you believe that you are talking about 1970s. Right from costumes to our set to all the props, and writers, the way they have written all the lines, the syntax is different. The construction of the lines are different. It is not something that we speak regularly now. And we've got a language coach for all those actors who are playing Pakistani characters, because that Punjabi and that the way they say those lines are not the typical Pakistani lines delivered in films that we've seen. It doesn't go beyond certain words.
True.
So that these kind of wholesome 360-degree care was required for this project to be more believable. And kudos to the team that they took the tiniest detail was taken care well.
And that was because also I feel that all the technicians we had, like we had fantastic, like Sukanta, who was the production designer, talking about Veera, who's the costume designer, and like what he said, the writers, the direct coach, everybody, it was very, very detailed. And a lot of, I think it took almost a year to get the detailing right. So I think that really worked, because to do a period thing, people sometimes they start saying, "Arey gaadi kya hai, ye kya hai," and to build that setup, I think that was what I think it's with the team, because of the team it happened.
And a big shout out for our DOP, Dmitriy Nedria. He was from Ukraine, and in his country there was a war. In that situation, he was here, he was shooting with us, and the way he's shot the whole series, I mean, I personally loved the way he's lit up each and every sequence, and the camera movement has captured the tension. Camera was in fact a third layer to the storytelling. It added up a lot of tension, it added up a lot of layers to it. So it is a cumulative effort of the whole team.
Both of you are getting me excited to watch it, because I love Spies thrillers, but at the same time now you're making me just revisit how I think things could be. So when I'm doing the interview and when I'm watching it, it would be more playing on my head.
But I would really want to know from you the way each and every scene has been set up, because lighting has added up so much to the script.
And it does, like even as a director, because he spoke about lighting, as a director, how challenging does it become, because you want to shot a certain sequence at a certain time, and directors have their own kind of winding, because they kind of work and look in a different radar as compared to actors. Also, they are doing their roles as actors, but you are the one behind the lenses, watching it. For you, what is the most challenging part as a director while working on your projects?
The one I did was also recently, which was Costa, which is a film I directed, that was also based in the 1990s. So I feel that to get the era and to get the researching, and then after that I feel that it is what the actors and everybody breathes to life, because it's how the actors bring that emotion to it. So I think that really helps. I think the setting up the tone for the film, setting up the tone for the character, how you want to shoot the film. Like what he said rightly is like, when I was doing Costa, because it was a 90s film, my DP and me, Rafe, who's like one of the best DPs I have worked with, he was very particular that the camera language we used was not modern at all. So we not like, you're not using drones, you're not using certain kind of camera, we used a certain kind of lens, a certain kind of filter to give that feel. So I think all that makes a difference and is authentic, and it's, it's fun. That's the whole process of creative, when you're working on a creative project.
To both of you, because 1971 and era, which while we celebrate because of a lot of reasons how we won independence, but at the same time social media, wherein when you release a series like this, also creates a lot of different opinions. How ready were you for that? Because there could be occasions where you may just face the flag, or you may just not face the flag, but there would be a lot of debate taking place on that. To both of you,
nothing can answer this in the sense, because it is so unpredictable. What can create havoc in people's mind, you don't know. And most of the time, the way I understand is that social media, anybody, they are faceless entities. So beyond a point, it is not required for me to react on everything. I have to train myself to understand and digest how much ever is important for me. Either areas of improvement or correct praises or correct criticism. I just need to filter it on my own. So social media doesn't decide what we should do next or how we should present it. But yes, our content, our belief do decide what we want to say. At the time of the, because we shot this 3 years back. And now at the time of release, there are a lot of incidences that happened across the world, which suddenly change the context in people's mind. So when we start promoting it, we have to be mindful enough that there are no misunderstandings and we can directly communicate what we want to communicate. But there are always going to be aberrations and outliers and all, then you can't deal with them on a one-to-one basis. Not even required, I think.
What about you, ma'am?
No, I think exactly what he said is, I think when we were making the series, we were just going to go, we wanted to tell an exciting story, we wanted to tell the silent warriors, the people who work, you don't know about them, the spies. And then when the series was being made, I don't think I was, at least talking about myself, I was very worried when I was watching the post, when I was doing the post and all. I just thought that it is so interesting that there was a feeling in the mind that people, this is a very different kind of patriotic genre people have used to watching, so it could go either way, but people really liked it was because everybody connected with the characters. So I don't think I was fearful, I was just hoping people accept it, and they happened, because I think audiences are very smart, and if they like a story, if they like a character, they will go with that emotion and they don't judge it. And after that,
and also, do you feel, there are two questions over here which I have related to the social media thing, is that, well, it's a very good medium where we get educated about what is happening around us, and probably that also helps in chapters which we are kind of dealing with. It could be film wise, or it could be personal also. But also, do you feel that investing too much of your time on social media wouldn't help in filmmaking? Because if we start taking what is happening over there as a feedback, probably the creativity will never unfold as such.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. It doesn't make sense that way, that much. You consume social media. For me, just for me, I use social media as a platform to announce what I'm doing and to reach out to the audience. That's it. As I said earlier, how much to take back as a feedback is something that you have to understand with your understanding of world and social media, the way it behaves. Most of the time it behaves with in a certain fashion, right? Because of the algorithms and all. So that is not necessarily giving me workable inputs. I can't take everything seriously, and there is a huge difference between information and knowledge.
True.
The way informations are being served to you right now, you can actually fail miserably if you process it as is. The moment you get to know anything, and if you are interested in that particular subject, go research and then understand what it means. Otherwise, all the information, all the news these days are already colored. So you are not getting anything that can help you, improve your knowledge and understanding. In fact, it is just making you even more polarized, colored with one thought only, and that is priming your brain. So I guess everybody who's consuming all these data, details, and the news have to be extremely mindful of how to process it. Otherwise, they don't know, but they are being played smartly.
Yeah, because the algorithm is deciding you are living constantly in an echo chamber. I think we all know that, So your algorithm decides what I want, so I am constantly only hearing that.
And then you just get
that's the fear of echo chambers.
And there are smart people who are just playing you. So one has to know this, that let's not do this. Understand everything, but then process, because you have your own brain.
Coming back to this movie itself, it is more of work of intelligence versus action, which also means the audience have to use their brains to kind of crack, what is happening in the situation, which is also a kind of a task, because, you're kind of putting your brains, and, you're not just seeing a movie as a movie, and which is like, you're getting the clues. No, you have to kind of also work through it. To make that film, to both of you basically, to kind of, invest in a film like this, you are making the audience also work. Do you feel that the audience is ready for such subjects also, where they are also kind of getting involved completely, because that itself, now I have to say that, because we say that the focus and engagement is lesser, that is what happens, because after 4-5 seconds or 4-5 minutes they would be like, I'm lost, getting lost. I'm asking so because recently Coolie also released of Rajinikanth sir, and I had a conversation with Komal Nada sir, for trade analyst, and he said, "Ke if I have to do the brain work for a movie, ke samajh rahe ho, then what am I watching as an audience? I am using my brains." So there are certain things where you feel like, why should I be using my brains? Let them serve me in a platter, or probably why should I invest, kind of a thing. I wanted to know from both of you.
See, for me, I feel that I really respect and consider the audience very smart. So I have never thought them to be dumb. I don't think anybody is dumb. I think everybody is smart, and I don't sit on any pedestal, and I don't think as a writer, director, anybody should. I think we all are mirroring each other. That is what art is, and that is what society is. So I don't think the audiences are dumb, and I don't think this series was meant to be, that we are challenging, we are making them smart. I think the series was just a beautiful story told through emotion, and that was, I think, the only idea. It is, I don't think any of us are here to preach or teach. It was just to engage the audience, and if they like the story, to enjoy it.
What about you?
I think, what is the definition of entertainment?
Basically just like kind of get entertained with what we are watching.
Exactly.
And
So
probably have some memories around it.
How do you get entertained?
When you see the subject which has like some detailing to it.
Detailing, entertainment is not only making you laugh, making you cry, making you giggle, making you feel those sensations. No, it's not only limited to that. It is that, but it is much beyond that also. Educating the audience is also entertaining them. Making them curious is also entertaining them. Playing with their intellect is also entertaining them. When there is a race happening and you constantly try to solve something and which is going one step ahead of what you think, that is engaging you enough. But if I already solve everything for you and just keep it here, then it becomes a second screen experience for you.
Yes.
Then you don't want to watch it. Then it may happen in your background and you will still understand. Because मैंने इतना simplify कर दिया इसे कि you don't use your brain. Don't worry. You use your brain in your Instagram. I'll just solve it for you, and you can just listen to it as an audiobook. If you want it that way, do it that way. But if you want audience, you have to command their attention.
Yeah.
When can you command their attention is when you challenge them with their intelligence.
Yeah.
That okay, now come, be with me, let's explore this journey, and let's see what works. That is entertaining them.
Yeah.
It's like we don't play those easy games all our lives, right?
We try to rather like play all these good games for mind also.
Snakes and ladders, we don't play it all our lives.
Yeah.
After primary school, you graduate to the game which challenges you, your skills, your brain, your agility, right?
Yeah.
It's not always that you want everything easy. There are days where you just want to sit on a couch, have a drink, and just listen to songs. But not all your life you want that kind of entertainment. So understanding the audience only from one perspective, I guess it's a mistake. It's a big mistake.
And lastly, before I let both of you go, Pratik, this question is to you. You have said like you have also been rejected for roles. Do you also feel that, like probably you have faced early, rejections when you started off. Do you feel that probably that you fit for such serious roles or characters which are more like, it dives you deep into your personality completely, into the character's personality? Do you feel so?
I definitely enjoy drama more, but comedy has also worked wonderfully with me, and I enjoy that too. Yes. So I don't want to put myself in one basket, and I am really fortunate that even writers, makers and directors also didn't do that with me, and I was offered varied kind of genres and different characters. That's the reason I could do Madgaon Express and Fool at the same time.
Yeah.
I could do Do Pyar and Agni at the same time.
Yeah.
And I could do Saare Jahan Se Accha and Dhoomdham at the same time. So these are all absolutely varied characters, and now I guess the different spectrum altogether is Scam and Gandhi. So that's how I want it for myself as an actor.
And imagine Scam and Gandhi like just look poles apart.
They're poles apart, yeah. So.
But before I let both of you go, upcoming projects you're focusing on, you have kind of like been producing a lot of content around you.
We are producing I think another 5 films which are in development. We just announced one of them I'm directing. So yeah, we're really excited to work with some of the good writers, directors and actors, and yeah, looking forward to that this year.
What about you, Pratik?
Of course, Gandhi should release soon. Ghamasan is another film that I've done with Tigman Shudalia that should come out soon, which is going to be screened at Chicago Film Festival next month. Then there is another film that I've done with Netflix, which is not named yet, so I don't know when will they announce it. And another film that I've done, which is which Sumit directed, the director who directed our series. That is also a very interesting one, and that should announce soon. So I'm just waiting for these things.
Well, interesting conversation and really insightful conversation, I would see. And thank you for making me interested in the series right now, just making me watch this weekend. Thank you so much for such a lovely interaction.
Thank you. I hope you
And
like
all
the
the very
series.
best and looking forward.